Is Britain sleepwalking into a cultural showdown? Liz Truss has just sounded an alarm, and her warning is shaking the entire political landscape. Britain has always seen itself as a nation defined by tradition, steered by democracy, and bound together by a shared sense of identity. But suddenly, the political atmosphere feels heavier, as if the country is reaching a crossroads. And in the middle of this tension, a voice rises, sharp, defiant, and unmistakably urgent. Liz Truss has stepped forward with a message she believes the British public can no longer afford to ignore. The tone of her warning echoes across social media, spilling into late-night debates and daytime political panels. She speaks of values, of national identity, of a Britain she believes is slipping away. When she says Sharia law is slowly taking root in certain parts of the country, her words spark an immediate storm. Supporters claim she's finally saying what others are afraid to voice. Critics accuse her of fear-mongering, exaggeration, or stirring division. But regardless of the interpretation, her message has undeniably struck a nerve. She describes communities where British law, in her view, no longer feels absolute, places where cultural norms are shifting and where concerns about parallel systems of justice are quietly whispered but seldom addressed publicly. Her claim is simple. If people do not step up now, the Britain they know today may become unrecognizable tomorrow. And whether one agrees with her or not, the intensity of her plea forces the country to confront questions too big to ignore. Her exclusive sit-down interview quickly becomes the center of attention. She leans forward, eyes steady, speaking with the energy of someone who feels overshadowed but refuses to be silent. She argues that political correctness has weakened the nation's ability to defend its values. She insists that free speech is under threat, that the British people are being told to stay quiet, to look away, to pretend nothing is happening. The interviewer presses her, where is the line between safeguarding culture and stoking division? Her answer is immediate. To her, silence is the real danger. She believes Britain's foundational principles, the rule of law, equality before the law, freedom for all, are too precious to be compromised. And she warns that once a nation begins to bend its rules, even slightly, it risks bending them again and again until the original shape is lost forever. Her message resonates across a population already fractured by debates over immigration, integration, national identity, and the rapid cultural changes sweeping through the West. Some see her as a defender of British values, finally willing to confront issues mainstream leaders treat as untouchable. Others see her as fueling unnecessary alarm. But behind the debate lies a deeper truth. Britain has become a battleground of ideas, and every voice, no matter how contentious, shapes the national conversation. As her interview continues, she urges people to step up, not to divide, she insists, but to participate, to vote, to speak, to debate, to challenge, to protect the cultural fabric they inherited. She believes democracy thrives only when the public is awake, engaged, and unafraid. Her critics, however, argue that engagement should not require fear or suspicion, but cooperation and understanding. That rhetoric must be responsible, especially in a country as diverse as modern Britain. Yet despite the criticism, her message travels like wildfire. Clips of her interview trend across platforms. Comment sections ignite. Across living rooms, cafes, and workplaces, people replay her words, pausing at phrases that hit them personally. The debate grows louder, not because her message is universally accepted, but because it refuses to be ignored. As night falls across the UK, another shift begins. People are no longer just listening. They are reacting. They are forming opinions, taking sides, questioning their assumptions. And whether her warning feels like truth or exaggeration, it forces Britain to confront its own reflection, flaws and all. In the end, the question isn't whether Liz Truss is right or wrong. The question is why her message resonated so deeply in the first place. A country confident in its identity does not panic at the mere suggestion of change. A nation secure in its values does not fear conversations about them. The fact that her words struck such a powerful chord reveals something about Britain today. Its anxieties, its uncertainties, and its longing for clarity in a world that feels increasingly chaotic. As the interview ends, her voice sharpens once more. She repeats her rallying cry, It is time for the British people to step up, to choose what kind of nation they want to be, to defend what they believe in, to speak when they feel silenced. And whether her call awakens unity or stirs division, one thing is certain: Britain has entered yet another chapter of intense political debate. And this time, the entire world is watching.